Figured I'd do a video on how to render the beeswax for you. Funny part is, it's only been out here for about a minute and the bees are already finding it. Anyway, since we press our honeycomb for right now, you can see all in there is the wax. So I need to get all the wax out and into this pot. And we'll warm it up. We'll show you the process of how to render the old beeswax so we can reuse the wax. So we lift this up. Now it's the process of getting out all the wax. And maybe a little more honey that I'll eat myself. And we'll have to speed up the process. I'm already getting bees. And they'll be telling their buddies and coming back for more. So by the time we're done getting all the wax out, I got a whole party of buddies in here. So we'll get them out real quick. Take it inside. We'll just let the bees continue to clean all the excess honey and stuff that we left. That way they can take it back to the hive. So we have plenty of other wax that we saved over time that we're going to add in. This is actually from last time we rendered it. This is what you'll end up with. Clock about the size of whatever pot you use. So we'll show you the next steps. So next we just want to get some water in here. Melt all the wax before on the top. And fill it up. And all the way to the top. So now we'll just slowly heat it up. And let the wax melt. Definitely don't want to bring it to a boil or anything, but just heat it up enough to melt all the wax. As you can see, it's beginning to melt down. That's that big chunk we had in there. All the other stuff, so we'll just wait till everything's completely melted right now. So we just wait. After everything's melted, get you a nice strainer and we can get some of the nastiness off of the top. Kind of helps out. Whatever you do, whatever you're going to use, don't use your wife's favorite stuff or you're going to be in trouble. This wax sticks to everything. So once again, we're just going to keep trying to strain some of this out. You don't have to, but it all makes for a cleaner product in the end. Once again, whatever you use. So we're going to keep just scooping whatever junk off the top we can. All the junk will harden to a different layer if you keep using it. But if you get most of it off now, it'll save you some cleanup time later. So this is some of the junk that we're pulling off. We don't really want it, so we just keep on going. So after you get it all cleaned out as much as you want, this is all the stuff we pulled out of it. I mean, there is some good wax in there, but it's just a lot of garbage for the most part. Go ahead and just turn it off. Let it cool. Gotta wait till it completely cools, so it's gonna sit here for a long time. Day out here having a heyday. Cleaning up the mess. I'll take it all back to the hive. Even got a few of the ones in here we don't like. But anyway, most of it is just bees that'll take it back to the hive. So then after about a day, this is what you'll be left with. Just a big old puck of wax. So we'll just have to get this out of the water now. So as you can see, pull it out of the water. And I have some nasty water left over. You see a lot of the impurities get stuck to the bottom. So I'll have to scrape that off. You got this nice layer of beautiful wax. And you get a few impurities stuck on the top. Like I said, they're just the impurities. So after you get the wax out, you'll have all your impurities on it. You can actually come through and just scrape this stuff off. Some parts will be thicker than others. And this is all junk we don't want. And then you'll get down to the pure wax, and you'll have a nice chunk of pure wax. You can scrape the top too, but there's not normally much up here. Just a little bit. So depending on what you want to use it for, you could probably consider this finished product. No, it doesn't look pretty, but it'll even clean up more. If you wanted to use it for like beauty or cosmetics or something, then you might want to repeat the process, boil it down again, and you'll have more impurities that come out of it. So you can make it as clean as you want. You can try to run it through a better filter or something. If you're just making candles or something, that's plenty good enough. To give you an idea, that's the junk we've pulled out. Anyway, so to purify it even a little more, it's the same process. We're gonna get filled up with some new clean water. Get the wax put in it. And back on the stove. That's it. Back on the stove, heating back up. Just wait for it to melt now. Remember, we don't want it to boil or anything. Just hot enough to melt all the wax. Like I said, basically just the same process over again. Now it's all melted. We'll just wait for it to cool. So as you can see, after you render it again, you get a much more yellow. I'm sure on the bottom, we'll have more of the contaminants. So once again, get a nice yellow. If you clean it again, a lot of the stuff you don't want is gonna float to the bottom. So we'll scrape this off. And you can continue this process even again if you wanted to try to get it more pure. Just depends on what you want to use the wax for. But we're going to end the video here. If you have any questions, let me know.